I'm Julianne Neal, and I'm so happy to be speaking tonight with Todd Linder, who's the author of The Big Sky Boys and Life on the Spinning Spur. And I just love your title, Todd. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and what got you into it? What made you write it? What caused that?
Well, I have told my grandchildren extemporaneous stories for years, and my daughter said, "Dad, you finally really should put them on paper." And so that was kind of the prompting to even actually start writing and considering publishing, was telling my grandkids stories that I would make up. And so um, I have lived in or worked on a horse farm when I was a kid, and I now live in the West. And so that has always appealed to me, the West and Western lifestyle. And so I finally thought, well, I'm going to write about it. And so I wanted to write kids stories that kids could relate to, especially younger boys. And I'm all about read aloud, which I did as an educator. And I wrote something I think that parents could read to their kids and have a lot of fun with, a clean, wholesome story.
What has been the most rewarding part of this whole project for you? Because I think that's pretty exciting just in itself.
Well, I think to see it in print and actually see a book cover was pretty exciting. And then because my dream had come to a realization at that point. And so that was, I think, probably the most fun. But I guess the actually, it was even more fun to be able to read these to my grandchildren who live in South Carolina, and read them to them over the phone before bedtime. And that was just a lot of fun to do.
That is too sweet. Well, I love the characters. I mean, when I think of Pee-wee, who's not really a Pee-wee at all, and Rooster and all of these other, Albert even, I just can see they're very quirky. Or did you model your characters, not to give anything away so people can still read it and not know what's going to happen, but did you model your characters after real people, or were they just in your imagination?
They were in my imagination, and I wanted to do characters that were just fun characters, and this is kind of set back in the 50s, late 40s and 50s, when I was growing up in the 50s, and so it would have been the West at that time. And this was a kind of an old broken down ranch, not fancy in the least, and these characters are anything but fancy. They're just plain old ordinary people.
And they sound like they get into heaps of trouble and wreak havoc all over the place. And you have one adult that kind of runs herd on them. And is that like you in real life?
Yes. Yeah, that was Cookie, and actually there was a children's Western show back in the day, that I kind of modeled him after. So I don't know if you remember a show called My Friend Fury, or
Yes.
just Fury. And so the cook on that was played by William Fawcett. His name was Pete, I think, and I kind of modeled Cookie after him, kind of an irascible old fella, who kind of kept order, or tried to.
Now, can we expect more from the series in the future?
I would love to do more. I have actually several written that maybe should be revisited and polished up and that kind of thing, and even maybe put in another volume. Or I might just even save those and read them as an audible.
And that's a great idea. I can just imagine some quirky little voices spitting those out. I think that'd be phenomenal. So, what
It'd
else
be
would
fun.
you like for readers to know about you and about the book?
Well, I guess just that I love everything Western, and so I live probably a little bit close to a rodeo arena. So when I can, when they're open, I get over there and watch, whether it's bull riding or just a multifaceted rodeo and that kind of thing. And I have it right at my doorstep almost, and that's just really kind of also helps to plant seeds for stories.
Oh, I'm sure it does. There's always something interesting going on at the rodeo. So that I look forward to introducing more people to your book. I think we need more books for that age group for sure. And so to have characters like this that young boys can connect with, and girls too, I think that's pretty special. So where can people find out more if they wanted to find the book or buy the book online?
Well, of course, it's obviously available on Audible, or excuse me, Barnes& and Noble and Amazon, but
Mhm.
also my publisher, Monday Creek Publishing in Ohio. handles it as well. And that's been fun relationship to work with this lady in Ohio, who was my publisher, and that's been fun.
Well, good.
So
Good. Well, I know they'll have it. Lisa will have it up on the website for EQUUS Film and Arts Fest too, so people can find it there and they'll learn more about your boys.
yes, and actually it'll be on EQUUS Shopper hopefully at some point as well.
That's exactly right. Exactly. Well, Todd, thank you so much for speaking with us and telling us a little bit more about the story. And we will look forward to maybe a movie in the future. Maybe we'll hook you up and do a screenplay sometime.
All right, wonderful. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, have a
Yeah,
good night.
thank you very much.
Bye.
All right,
Mhm.
thank you.